Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Here Lies Metal Too Many Notes music review. And what do we have today? We have a band called Stälker with the two little dots over the A, whatever that. I don't know what that's called. Comment down below.
Is that an umlaut?
I don't know if that's an umlaut. Comment down below, German people. And with their new album, Black Magic Terror, magic with a K, of course. And what else do we know about these guys?
This is not a German band. They are from
They're not.
New Zealand.
Did you know New Zealand means New Sealand in like Dutch or something?
I did not.
Yeah, so it's kind of it's kind of German in that way, but not really.
I'm going to assume that they chose to have an umlaut just in the tradition of speed metal.
Yeah, with a little, yeah.
As we mentioned, that's a very popular thing.
Yeah, I think
for a band.
Yeah.
But yes, they are speed metal from Wellington, New Jersey.
Wellington,
New Zealand.
New Jersey. It's Wellington, New Jersey. And
I say New Jersey.
Hey, from New Jersey. Hey, yo. Yeah, from New Zealand. Where else is there in New Zealand? There's just Wellington.
There's Auckland.
Auckland. Oh yeah, there's Auckland. And there's Christchurch.
There's Christchurch.
How do you guys from New Zealand that are into metal like your city being called Christchurch? What if you're like from Christchurch? You know.
I bet it's just a place for them. You know, they just know it. Okay. Anyway, let's take a look at them.
All right. Let's look at the web page on the trusted internet service. Here we go. All right, let's have a look at them.
We have a power trio. We've got Dave, bass and vocals.
Present.
Nick
on
the drums.
Nick, present. Is that him on the right? Nick.
I believe he's on the right.
Nick on the right, drinking a beer.
We have Chris on guitars.
He's gonna with a finger there. He's giving the bed.
You know Dave.
That's very rude, Dave. Nick, present. Chris, present. Mary, present. Dave, Mary, that's me, the manager, Mary, and the manager of the New Zealand consulate. Dave is on the dad guitar, and Chris is on the mom guitar to add the beautiful tones. And Chris, where's your guitar? Where's your mom guitar? Well, how does that sound then? It's a bit from. I'm not doing it well, but you know, it's there was a popular scene from Flight of the Conchords, which is what we as Americans know is the only thing we know of as New Zealand culture.
Well, I'm not familiar personally.
Well, the whole theme of the show was really to just downplay New Zealand as this backwater, which I don't think it really is, but that's how they kind of portrayed themselves, as this like backwards kind of backwater that no one knew anything about. And
well, actually, New Zealand is like the other nice paradise planet right now, as I saw a video of these guys playing a release show
right now
for this album. New Zealand, where they do not have the plague anymore. They are safe.
I think it's the only place that doesn't have the plague, to be honest.
They get to have concerts. Yeah. So New Zealanders, Wellington, got to see Stälker.
Wellington.
Anyway,
it's like nothing changed there. It's such a small place.
We are here to talk about their second album, Black Magic Terror, released on Napalm Records on October 30th.
No, Napalm's a pretty decent label. So we will go over our Here Lies Metal exclusive catalog, and here we will explain them. We have the Here Lies Metal 5-point bi-directional classification scale, as you all know, including these categories. Genre loyalty, and that includes true to nonconformist. Listenability, which includes sonic terror to distorted pop. Production quality, which includes Fisher Price to high production. You like that, don't you? Musical complexity, which spans from enough notes to obviously too many notes. And finally, just plain fun, which is either fun or focused. That's the overall kind of feel of the album. Please note, this is not a rating scale. Each end of the scale doesn't classify positive or negative, but is only to inform you, the listener, of the qualities of each category. Yes, so that's a quick explanation of it. Now let's move on.
All right, first, the genre scale. This gets a number 1 for true speed metal. We were talking about speed metal earlier, kind of as a very special genre, very special time in metal, coming out of heavy metal and going into thrash.
Well, can I add something? It's the immediate follower predecessor. No, not predecessor would be before, right? Successor my vocabulary, successor to new wave British heavy metal, right? And
Yes.
metal. And
That's
it
what I
came
meant
from a
by
lot
heavy
of things.
metal. That's what I meant.
It came from a lot of things. And, mostly came from probably just the idea of Motorhead. Just the idea of Motorhead, obviously, kind of made it happen. But,
Motorhead's like a wild card influencer.
it is.
That just kind of like, it like strikes lightning.
It's not
and,
metal,
like,
though. That's the thing.
changes things.
Yeah, it wasn't metal. That's what was weird about it.
Well, it's not metal.
Yeah.
But anyway. But I would say for speed metal, this is very specifically on more the thrash side of speed metal. If we think of speed metal as a spectrum, as I said, going from heavy metal to thrash.
Aggressive speed metal.
Yes, so this is when speed metal gets much more aggressive, but we're not quite at thrash yet. I would call it maybe low era thrash. Think Show No Mercy Slayer. That is exactly what we were talking about right here.
Slayer was like, obviously they're considered always a thrash band, but their first album really wasn't real thrash. It was very satanic.
I mean, plenty of elements, but much more stripped down
Yeah.
than their later sound and the heights of thrash for sure.
Yeah.
Much more raw.
Yeah.
And maybe a bit simpler. But yes, this album of all those kind of speed metal bands this is like the Show No Mercy genre. And this is the Show No Mercy tribute band. It opens with this like blistering Tom Araya scream.
Yeah, he does the stream that we all loved. This is makeup wearing Slayer music. Believe it or not, that's when Slayer used to come out with. Slayer kind of dressed like these guys back then, but Slayer actually literally wore makeup until
Well, these guys don't wear makeup.
Paul Bailoff said something rude to them, and to make them not wear it anymore.
I would say these days, I actually thought these guys were Norwegian at first because these days most of the stuff is coming out of Norway. These guys remind me very strongly of Death Hammer for a modern Show No Mercy.
Where do you get off
genre.
coming from New Zealand then?
Listen, you can do this anywhere. Okay, this came from the West Coast.
New Zealand doesn't do this.
Okay, so yes, thrash end of speed metal songs like Black Magic Terror, Sentenced to Death,
theme wise, very
Stalker. That's like those songs are all in a row on the album. It's like 3 punches to the face. And the song Demolition in particular, I thought was like the peak thrash moment of the album.
Yeah, if it got thrashy.
It even has like a thrash metal breakdown.
It's a breakdown, which speed metal didn't do.
Yes.
Yeah,
which almost,
slowly you got to slow down, which is like, hey, this is a different thing. Yeah.
So yes, very fast album, unrelenting, pounding. It's not totally, no dynamics. It slows down a little bit on the beginning of Holocene's end. The Holocene era is our current era. I found
in
that
geology?
recently. Yes.
Is that what it is, really?
So that's the end of our current era. That's what that means.
But is that the era or there's different
It's like the Paleolithic. All right.
We're in the Cenozoic something, I think. But where's that the first one?
We're in the Holocene era.
But there's different sub eras, I think. I forgot.
But Holocene's end it gets a bit more heavy metal. That's like kind of like it's over 6 minutes. It's a bit notable in that regard because of course it's speed metal. All these songs are pretty succinct. So this is like our equivalent of a heavy metal epic on the album. And the song "The Cross" I found a bit stand out too, as it starts out very slow, brooding bass, very light guitar. But then, of course, it rips into one of the meanest songs on the album. So, yes. And the vocals, very typical speed metal, thrash, barking kind of vocal. I want to say this guy's shrieks are perfect. They are A+, very exuberant and exciting. They really, they really get you going. Like,
It's weird seeing a bald guy do that instead of like a Tom Araya looking guy. I'm just saying. Yeah. You don't see a bald guy. It's today, though. It's not 1983.
I guess older guys are doing it now.
Well, yeah. I guess these guys look older. Yeah. They look older to me. How old are you guys? Comment down below.
I mean, I'm sure the Metal Archives has them all, cataloged and tagged.
They look like they've been, they were around when Slayer was like when they were kids, probably. But
yeah.
In New Zealand.
Anyway, yes. You want, your speed metal riffs, your pounding drums. Check this out. It's the one for speed metal fans. It's for you. Speed
metal's a thing these days. It sounds to me like late stage new wave British heavy metal, or when kind of went into speed metal, but got more aggressive. There was obviously different really paths of new wave British heavy metal, and one of them turned into speed metal, and some of that speed metal turned into thrash. It's a giant convoluted road of networks or network of roads, but we won't get into that. And like early Exodus, early Slayer.
Yeah, sound Exodus.
Exodus and early Slayer are kind of speed. Exodus is more of the entrance to thrash. 85, I guess. Bonded by Blood.
I feel like this guy he sounds a little Paul Bailoff-y.
Yeah, he's definitely Paul Bailoff.
But, speaking of later Slayer and particularly Exodus, which we just mentioned, on the Sonic Terror scale, these guys do not go as far as High Era Slayer or Early Era Exodus. We're giving them a 3. Not terrifying, but also not pop, because they never go into the extreme intensities of thrash. Like, it's never, challenging your human abilities to understand sound, which say like Exodus does at some points. It never gets that fast. It is very fast, but it's never trying to be as fast as possible. We are 19 years old. How fast can you go?
Yeah, that was the thing back then. They used to just try to fit as many notes as they could.
It is very fast, but it is intelligibly fast. So it is never difficult to listen to, I would say. But on the other hand, it is very fast and very intense. And so it's obviously not incredibly catchy or, in the pop area. So here we are. We're just kind of middle of the road. We're having a good time.
Yeah, it's very aggressive speed metal, like very, but that's a sign of the times for today. I don't think they were really capable of that. It's got intensity, despite speed. It's got a lot of like really just aggressiveness. That I don't think was like really possible back then, like technologically possible, if I want to say. I don't know, but we're just not like of all the combination of genres, it couldn't have happened back then. But
well, it's going for like aggressiveness just in the sound, like the bite of like the riffs, whereas like it seemed to be like a thing like back then where like the metal was more extreme if it was faster.
Yeah, that's all you could do back then. Like, it's a lot more obviously satanic than Slayer, I might say, back then. They just because they could take, I think Slayer might have been just too scared to kind of take it to that level back then. Today, it's like, fuck it, we could do anything. But, back then, maybe you'd have to kind of worry about the record label being like, you can't do that. I think that was always a thing back then, since Slayer was kind of like a major label thing, even in their earliest days. But, significantly beyond the baseline for 1983, in Extremity, but it was a baseline back then. It was extreme back then, but it's 2020, so it's hard to,
It's a good time now.
Yeah, it's otherwise authentic, though. Otherwise, in every way.
It's very authentic.
In every way, they're recapturing that as best as we can today.
That's why I got a 1.
Yeah, with a modernized approach. But, but that wasn't possible back then, so we can't drop any points for that. Anyway, so
all right, production, Fisher Price to high production. We're slightly on the Fisher Price side. We're like a 2.5. It's a warm feel, but it's obviously it's a very retro production. It's period production.
Yeah.
But warm, full, well balanced. Sounds good.
Now, should we take points off that, or should we give them points for that? You see,
probably take points off.
Well, I mean, it's like going towards more Fisher, not even take points off, but move it towards the left side of the scale, Fisher Price. But maybe they intended to do that. I mean, there's a lot of echo in the vocal. They tried to capture 1983. And They did it like it sounds like 1983. And that's not something you do by accident. I think maybe maybe they actually just.
Yeah, but like that 1983 sound, like that was a real studio sound back then.
Yeah, that was like
that's not DIY. That's not Fisher Price.
Yeah,
that's like a real production.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like,
it's not a glossy. It's not like a shiny production.
Right, but did they get it? Did they work extra hard to get it to sound like that?
There's a little bit of dirt.
Yeah, guys, if you're
that's
listening,
what a 2.5 is. It's a little bit of dirt.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. If you're listening in New Zealand, on the other side of the world. Comment down below. Anytime we do one of these, I want you guys, if you're listening, comment and disagree with us or agree with us, whatever, just give us your opinion on any of these scales.
We always want to know how things are recorded.
Yeah, we want to know from you, not our hateful fans. We want to know from you. So, fans, what do they call them? Fans. But, all right. From you, the band.
Notes. How many notes are there?
There's
many notes.
There's a lot of notes.
However, they're mostly the same note.
Yeah, it just doesn't mean a lot.
I'm not really sure how to score that. I guess that's a 3, because it's like there's a lot of notes, but it's not like you're blasting one away with like extreme technical ability. That said, like the guitarist definitely is a shredder.
Yeah,
he shreds, but he's not jerking off. He's not like jerking himself off.
He likes to shred. He likes to give us a bed too, doesn't he?
What?
He likes to give us the bed too, doesn't he?
That is the bass player.
That's the bass player. Sorry.
So yes, we've got some blistering, but not overdone solos. tasteful in a speed metal way. Tasteful for speed metal.
Yeah, it's not. I'm super good at my guitar. You know,
but I'm not saying he's bad.
No, he does it right.
Good.
It's not intimidating. It's perfect. It's
yes.
captured in that era because there was no real guitar masturbators back then, really. You know, when you really think about, not like, I mean, unless you want to call it like Richie Blackmore or something like that, or Yingway back then. You know, but like
obviously,
yeah, there was. I mean, I guess Satriani might have been
in thrash.
Yeah, like it wasn't that evident back then.
Or speed metal. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, the drumming, intense, exciting, good, many drums.
Yeah, a lot of drum.
Yeah,
hits, beats.
I found the standout performance, as I mentioned before, on this is the vocals. I feel like this is kind of a vocals highlighted band. He's got good phrasing. He's got a good bite to the way he sings, and I really enjoy the shrieking. And good shrieking is always just up my alley. So
it stands out. It's good that he did that. Yeah, quantity of notes, not necessarily quality of notes. That's not a bad thing. That doesn't mean your notes aren't good. They're just the same, zeros, ones, and twos, and threes, and fives.
It works for Kerry King.
Yeah, that's what Kerry King is known for. The meme of Kerry King is like 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 0. That's and Kerry King, like I always think of Kerry King like later stage Kerry King. I don't really think of him like as this force in early Slayer. I don't know why. I just, he didn't really shine yet. I don't know. That's just me. I mean, I could be wrong.
All right. Final scale.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. So, it's fucking Slayer. So,
yeah. Final scale. Fun to focused. I think we're a wanted fun. Total fun.
It's fun, yeah.
I mean, this is fun. What else could it be? Let's look at the album cover as we talk about this.
All right. Let's see. Black Magic Terror.
Go to their Bandcamp.
Oh yeah, we'll just go to the Bandcamp. Right, that's easier. Okay. What is going on? What is going on with this?
Obviously, this is fun. There's a big snake skull creature on the cover.
We're not rating your art yet, right? We're just
no.
Okay, I'll wait for my comment on that then.
The lyrics are your standard issue metal lyrics. They were issued these lyrics by the metal overseers. To put
they were
on there.
Approved. They wrote them, but they were approved by the metal overseers.
Yes, they were approved.
They made them themselves, but they had to be approved.
I kid. And I feel like the vibe on this is music for drinking in a parking lot.
Do they do that? Do you do that in New Zealand, guys? Is that how did you guys pass the time when you were listening to metal? Comment down below.
That's the kind of thing you want to do while you're listening to this.
Did you have heavy metal parking lot? The joke on Flight of the Conchords was always that New Zealand was like 15 years late.
I'm sure Judas Priest has been in New Zealand.
Sure, maybe. But the joke was always that they're 15 years late to everything, so maybe they did like heavy metal parking lot. What's
happening
in like now or something? Like in the early 2000s or something. I don't know.
But yeah, and I liked the last song. Intruder opens with a sample. What's the sample from?
That sample is from, and I heard that. I'm like, oh, this sounds very familiar. So I looked it up. And that is it. Sample from the movie From Beyond. It's kind of like this gory kind of movie where these things are changing into things, and the guy's like, and what does he say? He's like, humans are such easy prey.
Yeah, there's like some screaming and some like gloopy noises.
Yeah, he's like coming out of his skin or something.
I like to think that was the sound of that snake eating people.
It was kind of like that. It was almost like that, but it's had like a human head. But you should watch the movie. You just look it up on. Right. You could see the scene. Being that they're from New Zealand, the Kiwis, they can only have fun. Like, could anything be serious? It's not Norway, right? Like, how could anything be serious in New Zealand?
I'm sure, yes.
Besides any bad things that happen, which is not usually too many things.
I could play you some very serious New Zealand black metal.
Okay, we'll get to that another day.
I'd rather not.
Yeah, but rather not. But we'd rather not. But New Zealand. What do you think? If you think, I'm sorry to generalize you guys again, but when the world looks at your little island across on the farthest part of the world near Antarctica, we think of hobbits. We think of Lord of the Rings. We think of Sick and Breakfast.
I think of the kiwi bird.
The kiwi bird, which is like a flightless bird. It crawls around like a little mouse. It's like, it doesn't even like fly. We can't even take that bird seriously. I'm surprised they haven't.
I take it seriously.
I'm surprised they haven't killed them all, like some people do. They're like, oh, that bird can't fly, kill it. Like it's like they did with the dodo bird or something.
No, it's house cats.
Was the dodo bird from New Zealand or is it from some island?
All right.
Anyway,
So this isn't contributing to them being fun. It's just being from New Zealand.
Yes, it is all fun. It has to be. That has to make you. If you guys don't think you're having fun with this, comment down below. Be like, no, this was very serious. This is all very serious to us.
I think they're having fun. Look at that picture.
I hope being that they're from.
We had their band picture. They're obviously having fun in their band.
Can we talk about this picture?
All right, the art. The art is by Bob Eggleton.
Bob Eggleton.
Got a pretty lady.
This is very like Frank Frazetta, like the lady anyway.
As you do.
Yeah, as you do. Your face reminds me of the ghost on Poltergeist. Remember when like that ghost comes out of like the wall, and the mother's like, "Ah, get away from my babies!" Remember that? That's what the ghost looks like to me.
Well, it's a skull face.
Snake. It's a skull cobra face
on the face of a snake.
Cobra
now,
snake.
what is this interaction happening?
She doesn't look like she's scared by it.
I think she's a witch.
Oh, yeah, she summoned it.
And she summoned it.
Yeah, she's gonna get revenge on everybody with this.
And now the snake's is like, "Hey, I'm here."
He's like, "What was your bidding?" And she's like, "Come with me."
She's like, I don't know."
He's like, "You're awfully sexy, aren't you?" She's like, "Stop." She's like, "That's not why we're here. I need you to do some shit for me. You
need you to do some black magic terror.
I need you to terrorize them. I will terrorize people for you."
All right. Closing thoughts on this album. Check it out. Yeah. It's awesome. It's a great time.
We're glad that people are making music like this, especially in faraway places like New Zealand. So yeah, comment down below, guys. I hope you guys watch this, and I hope you forgive my bad New Zealand things. But that's all we know about New Zealand. It's not in the news a lot.
This album is a great ride. I was hooked from the first moment of the first song.
It's good.
It's easy. It's fun.
Listen, since we don't have Slayer anymore, we're glad that you guys, the Stälker.
Well, we haven't had Show No Mercy era Slayer for
it's
quite a long time.
It's usually like South of Heaven Slayer most people are doing. It's like mid Slayer.
Or, they might be doing Hell Awaits. Definitely trying to do Rain and Blood.
Yeah, Rain and Blood, definitely. Everyone. That's the most popular is Rain and Blood.
But I like the people trying to do Show No Mercy. Era.
Yeah.
I like them best.
We need more. We need more Seasons of the Abyss. That's a little too complicated for people. I think a lot of people aren't touching Seasons of the Abyss. They're definitely not touching God Hates Us All, fortunately. That's fine. No one's ready for that one.
No one may touch any other albums.
Yeah, no one's ready for anything after Seasons of the Abyss, and that's fine.
Leave the rest alone.
Yeah, that's all anyone needs a Slayer. So anyway, thank you for watching, guys, and I hope if you guys are watching down in New Zealand, please comment because this is for you guys. This is for you. We're doing this for you guys. So we'd like to hear from you. All right,
you're doing this for me.
We could give it to them.
All right,
guys.
Stälker.
Thank you, Stälker.
Check it out.
Check it out, and you have all the Bandcamp stuff. Check out Bandcamp. Check out the Metal Archives. Learn about this band. All right, goodbye.